everybody, welcome back to the Dragon Hoard Yarn podcast. It's been quite a minute since I've done a video, but around the holiday season it's always a little difficult. In holiday season I am meeting Halloween. But welcome back. My name is Tristan. I am the dyer, designer, all the things behind Dragon Hoard Yarn, and I just wanted to get on here today because I have so many goodies to show you, but they're all at home except for some of my favorites. So I wanted to get on here and show you guys because I'm so excited about this one. First off, I love knitting children's clothes, baby clothes, more I like baby clothes a lot more because they are fast and easy for the most part. But usually when I knit a baby sweater, I don't really write the pattern down. I just kind of make it up as I go along. And it was attached to a little tree. My little sister Marche is pregnant and she's going to be due in January. I think they're inducing her early, but I wanted to get a little baby cardigan out of the way for her, so I used my Charmer color with held with Surrey, which is in the Silent Fury colorway, and I really love how that marled look came out, and I wanted to do a two-tone just so that you can fit it with more outfits and less at the same time. And I wanted it super soft, so I added that Surrey in there. And yeah, I know it's a little hard to manage with a baby, but I gave her instructions on how to wash it, and hopefully I'll be able to go out there when she first has her baby and give her some tips and tricks for washing. But this is Obsidian Salt with Obsidian Salt Surrey as well. But these buttons, I'm so excited. I got these at the very last Edinburgh Yarn Festival that they did. It's a little clock with a bird on it, and I finally found a project for it. But if you can tell, I actually ended up steeking this, which means I knit the sweater completely in the round because I absolutely hate purling so much. But I knit it in the round, and I counted for about, I think it was 10 extra stitches across the front. And so what I did is, it's about like this, I cut the front and I added these about 2 rows in. So I picked up stitches along a line, and then I would cut down the middle after these 2 bands were already knit attached on here. So I need to even all of my ends, which is not fun, but I need to also attach a ribbon to the inner lining, so that, because this is just hanging out. It's just hanging out here. So I'm going to reinforce it a little bit with some just clear thread, and then I'm going to put a cute little ribbon down it. I'm going to sew that on there so that she doesn't have to worry about the ends coming out or anything like that. I've done this for, I think, 1 sweater, and I completely ruined it. And so, I mean, that's what, let's talk about it. That sweater was ruined to begin with, because I added, instead of like 10 stitches across, I think you're generally supposed to add like 4 extra and then go out from there, and then pick up stitches along there and add your bands, and then you cut down the middle, and so you just have like 2 rows. But I was like, oh, I'm so scared, so I added it. I ended up adding like 20 more rows to it, and so when I went to put it on, it's just like so big right here, like so much extra stuff. And yeah, I'm planning on cutting it, but at the same time I think I accounted for it on the back too, and it just looks, it's just so bad. And since I cut it, I can't reuse that yarn, which is kind of a bit of a bummer. So yeah, so I finally got it. I've done it a couple times with a couple different baby knits before, and it comes out a lot better. And hopefully she's going to love this. This is the second sweater I've knit her. I actually designed this sweater and knit her this version first of whatever this is going to be called. So I finished this. I lovingly am calling it my gingerbread sweater just because of the colors, which is, I think this is russet, or it's not fossil, or terracotta from So Happy Jane. I love her blends that she has. I got this last year at I think it was at Wool and Folk. I think she'd been there last year. No, she was at Indie Untangled in New York in October, and I got either this there, or I fell in love with her yarn and ordered myself a sweater quantity. Sorry. And then this is my heirloom colorway, and then my toffee colorway. And it turned out so cute. And my favorite thing is that there's like these little snowballs on here. So I wanted it winter themed, but because it gets so crazy around the holidays, I'm just like, I'm going to have to name it something else and theme it something else. Just so that people, when you name something that's like only Christmas related, people only get it at Christmas and only feel like they can cast something on around Christmas. And so I'm like, I don't want that. So I'm looking for names for this. Seem kind of like spidery webs, but it wasn't intended to be like that. So if you guys want to help me out or have any suggestions, just put them below. I would love to look at anything that maybe you think would inspire this at all, but I love it because the body is a lot more oversized fit, but it's still top down yoke style in the round. And the sleeves are still a little bit more tight fitting, especially up here. So it doesn't create a massive issue with the sleeves, but the sleeves are also meant, or the body is also meant to start about like right here. And so you have all that extra wiggle room. So this is my cookie eating sweater. So also to go with the gingerbread theme. I just think it works. And that is my heater, you guys. Okay, kind of funny. I've been in this location for about 5 years now, and for 5 years I didn't realize I wasn't hooked up to gas because my hot water heater is electric. And so we were trying to figure out like why, oh my god, why is it like 40 degrees in here every year? And so I think we have like 12 space heaters. And I got an industrial one that is on the floor, and that broke, so that was fun. And then I was looking at our big one that's supposed to heat like warehouses, and found out that I'm actually not even signed up for gas. And I think that was a landlord issue. And yeah, so now we have heat, and now I don't have to like wear a big old like cotton sweater while I'm dyeing yarn, and it's great and I love it. So you're gonna hear the heater, but I need the heater to live. So yeah, I'm going to save my favorite thing to the very end, but I wanted to show you guys I came out with like 9, I swear it was like 9 different patterns for Black Friday, Small Business Saturday, and you guys seem to really like them. I wanted to make more accessible, monetarily accessible kits, so that many people could enjoy the fun of the holidays and knitting for people and getting little, you know, fun little knit kits for your friend or whatever. But the first one I did was the dark winter mitts, and it's just a very basic DK weight mitt, fingerless mitts, but it has this fun cable detail up the side. Honestly, it reminds me a lot of Lord of the Rings, and I'm kind of bummed I didn't think about that before because we're gonna have a lot of Lord of the Rings and Tolkien inspired things coming very, very soon in the new year. I already started making stitch markers for it and getting my colorway names all put aside, and different color palettes, so I'm very excited about that. But these are the dark winter mitts. They come in 3 sizes, and they're just for adults, unfortunately, because I don't know how to size for kids. That's the problem here. I know it's easy, but it's not. You think it's easy, it's not. Yeah, so dark winter mitts, love them. I think I still have a few kits in the shop if you want them, but otherwise they are on Ravelry. If you already have yarn, this is a really good stash buster. I think it takes less than 50 grams of DK weight. And yeah, I'm planning on taking a couple days off here at the end of the week probably. My dad's Christmas is always a weekend early, so we're going to be going over there and hanging out and celebrating Christmas on Sunday coming up. And so I think I'm going to take a couple days off beforehand and just do a bunch of gift knits, because these, I think each glove took me about 3 hours, depending on what show I was watching at the time and how much I had to pay attention. You know how it goes. But these are in my apothecary colorway. I believe the kits have, I have my Dorcas colorway, cinnamon apricot spice, which almost sold out, and I know I have scraps at home of that, so I'm actually going to make a pair of mitts with that too, because you guys really seem to like it, and I love that colorway. It's in like half my sweaters right now. I'm knitting another Sanderson sweater, which is my design as well, which is a mohair and DK weight held together, but I'm doing it in cinnamon apricot spice and moon eater for the mohair, and I just love that color. It's like fall all year. In my house it is anyways. So here are my dark winter mitts, And okay, so another thing I did is make a bunch of coffee cozies because I had a bunch of okay, it's a little explicit. I had a bunch of tags made, and yeah, it's backwards for me. I don't know if it will be for you. I haven't done this forever, but I made a bunch of cute little coffee cozies, and I've been using them every morning, all the different ones, because me and Eric have been getting Starbucks every morning, and then once a week we get the dogs pup cups, which they love. They love it, and they are very vengeful when they don't get it. Odin is vengeful. But so I've got a bunch of different coffee cozies. This is the Grinchy coffee cozy. This is, I'm not gonna remember any of these. I believe, okay, this is True Crime coffee cozy. Not gonna remember. This one is Winter Berries coffee cozy. I love this one. This is so great. These are all primarily done with my Magic DK base. They sell in 50 gram skeins in the shop. This one is Common Room coffee cozy, and it's honestly, it's like the Sanderson sweater pattern in here, the texture, which I just love. I've been putting it in everything. It's such a good versatile just pattern. And speaking of versatile patterns, do you guys ever have, like, I know I have it, okay. Do you have one person who is super picky about knitting or knitted items and stuff like that? My husband is such a brat about knitted items. I've offered to make him sweaters, gloves, socks. Of course, no, he's a texture person. Socks is a no-go. But hats, he will let me make them. And I don't know if you guys have noticed, but men seem to really like more of the, at least in my experience, they like more of the rustic feel. And my husband is no different. He loves it. And he hates anything soft. So mohair and Surrey can just get bent, basically, in his opinion. And then merino, he's like, it's just too soft. I don't like it. So I've been playing around with Aran weight bases, which I'll show you guys in a minute. And I have some Hallworth DK bases, which I love, and it's in here, as well as my popcorn that I take around everywhere. And this is my Tana Casey bag, which I just ordered a bunch more because I'm slightly obsessed with her construction of her bags. So take a look at her bags because they're amazing. But I am working on a beanie in my Mary colorway, which is Lord of the Rings themed. And I am using this just very basic texture pattern where you knit 3 rounds in stockinette, and then you do knit 1 purl 1, knit 1 purl 1 all the way around, and you just repeat that several times. And I'm trying to figure out how to work the decreases with that, because you have to do it in certain multiples, but if you're altering the actual like stitch pattern with your decreases, it really messes up how you do the rest of the pattern. So I'm trying to figure that out for you guys right now, because I think this is just a great basic knit beanie. Eric has been wearing, I made him one in my midnight colorway, and honestly I might keep this one. And this is one of the tags that came with some of the knitting patterns, or the coffee cozy patterns. This one I believe is the True Crime one, and they sell individually in the shop as well, but I thought it was fun to make those. But I may or may not write this pattern up just because it's kind of being a bitch to figure out those decreases, which you wouldn't think it would be with such a simple pattern, but like cable patterns have been easier than trying to figure this thing out. So a little bitter, but at least I'm enjoying the knit, and I'm probably gonna make, this is probably one of the things, as well as my dark winter mitts that I'll be working on over the next week or so. I'm really excited. But the biggest thing I'm excited about, you guys, oh my god, okay, I don't know how many of you have seen the new show on Netflix, Wednesday, which is named after Wednesday Addams, the Addams family, a new re-envisioning, a little bit more, I want to say dark. Goodbye, heater. I want to say more dark than the Addams family, but it's similar, just more in your face, if that makes sense. And it also really, really reminds me of The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. And we all know how much I absolutely adored that series. And it inspires so many different designs and colorways and collections, and it's doing the same thing for me right now with Wednesday Addams. So I'm designing a Wednesday Addams sweater. And one of the things I look at when I'm designing sweaters that are themed after something, or if they're for like a knitting book that's themed, like I did the Harry Potter knitting magic, I think. I did that book. I did the Star Wars book with Padme's shawl. I think it's Padme's battle wrap, which I just barely got back in the mail and I'm so happy. It's so warm. But what I look at when I'm doing character inspired sweaters or knits or anything like that, I try to look at the shape of the actual item. So in this case, sweaters, I try to look at the neckline, I try to look at the positive ease throughout the arms, try to look at the shape of the body that they are trying to emulate. A lot of it is like cuffs, whether or not you have ribbing, if it's like full drapey, if it's like lace work right here or lace work around the neckline. Like, I don't know, where I'm doing Hobbit related themes, like if I were to do elf related themes, it'd probably be like more lacy across right here, down like V down the arm kind of thing. I'm not designing that because that sounds like a lot of work. But with Wednesday Addams, I was looking at a lot of the pictures for the different costumes that she's wearing, and everyone loves the dress that she wears. So if you look at it, it's really, really interesting that they also incorporated a collar on that dress, because that is such a huge theme with everything that she's wearing. So, and warning, Odin owns my lap, and so you will probably see some dog hairs on this. Stitch markers are done. Okay, so I am using a brand new colorway in a brand new base that will be, there's a couple of them in the shop. You have to search Dragon, Dragon Sport. But it is a new base that will be in the shop, hopefully at the end of January fully. But I'm going to do a couple little teasers here and there. But it's a BFL Sport Weight base, and this colorway is called the Raven, after a scene in, I was about to say Chilling Adventures, in Wednesday. So I'm trying to get the best lighting. There we go. So it's actually like a dark green. I mixed colors that are like spruce, teal, a lot of different types of black, and like a shadow color like platinum. I just put it all in a big old bucket, and it came out with this just stunning deep green. So yeah, that will be coming out in a little while. I will probably be releasing it before I release the sweater, but we'll see, because I did dye it across a couple different bases. So this is the sweater so far. So it's going to have like a halfway turtleneck right up here, and then the shape will be, I was going to do puffed shoulders, but short rows are interesting on sleeves, so we'll see what happens with that. But it's just a basic raglan all the way down except for the sleeves. The sleeves have a very intricate type of cable pattern. Well, not intricate, I guess, but a more intricate. This is not a beginner sweater at all. More intricate cable work down the sleeves, and it's very interesting because the sleeves are actually going to start, you're going to start seeing the cables about right here. So there's a lot less sleeve increases, more body increases. What you see a lot of times in sweater designs is that you increase at the same rate on the sleeves if you're doing a raglan. And this one is like half the amount of sleeve increases, while the body is the regular amount, like every other row you increase. This one's like every 4 rows, or every 4th row you increase. And so it's creating this really cool shape where I actually may not have to have short rows in there, and you're still just gonna kind of see a little bit of a poof. But the sweater is going to go down probably about 9 inches, with ribbing being 1 inch for 10 inches in the body. But I mean, you can always add more. But I'm going to be knitting this up in this new base, as well as a mohair option with fingering weight. I kind of wanted to show both of them because I think when people think lace or cables, they don't think about mohair. And honestly, it creates the most beautiful like gloss sheen to it and makes your cables a little bit more vivid. And I really like that look, like where I did it in my Salem sweater and my Spellman sweater. I really like the popped look of that. And so I'm probably going to be doing a combination of this mohair with like Midnight or Obsidian Salt to try to figure out how that looks, but I want to knit up the 2 samples, and I have such a fun idea for the reveal, but you guys will just see that when it happens, and I'm so excited. But I just wanted to show you guys some of my fun things I'm working on right now and kind of like ramble a ton because I haven't done this in a very long time. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know if you have any ideas for naming this beauty, and I am hoping to get this off to my tech editor in the beginning of January after all the craziness is over. And hopefully you guys are going to have a good rest of your week and get some knitting time in. It's really hard during the holidays to get some self-care time, so just prioritize yourself as well as your family. But I hope you guys have a great week, weekend, night, day, whatever, and I'll see you eventually again. Bye.
Mm-hmm.